What's going on, people? It's Mr. Door back again with a previous show. I hope everyone's fit and well. And yes, it's a big game for Nottingham Forest. We're back in London again. We always head to London every single time, but this time we are heading to Tottenham Hotspur. Massive game. Is it a big game for both clubs? I think it is. As you know, Spurs have not been playing great, but I've got a special guest, big Spurs fan, the man himself. I know he's really angry at this moment, people. So people don't go in on Patrick because, as you know, Spurs have been shocking. But that's why I've got the man on to talk about his team, talk about Conte, the form. Patrick, what the hell? How are you, Patrick? First?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good, and yeah, thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure, man. Yeah, to be fair, it's a weird time, man. I mean, I'm good. Life is good. I feel good. Like football, podcasting, and all of that stuff is going well. But the football, as you said, is just a shit show, man. It's a shambles, and it's so weird. Like we're up, we're down, we're up, we're down. It's just. Yeah, I can't call it, man. But to be fair, going back, obviously I'm on your channel. I'd like to say well done to you guys, man. First time in the Premier League in such a long time. And as I was saying before we started the show, I think you guys will be safe. I like your brand of football. I was a bit worried for you when you brought in like 28 new players at the beginning of the season.
Oh, why are you hating? Are you hating? Are you hating Patrick as well? Why is everyone hating on our club?
Another one. Like, but nah, it's facts, man.
We took Sergio from we took an ex-Spurs player, Sergio.
Yeah.
Well.
And he looks all right, to be fair. I mean, no, to be honest, fair play to you, because like when I watch you guys play. Yeah, I know like it's quite tight at the bottom, but your brand of football is decent. You don't worry me like the teams below you, and I think you're going to stay up quite comfortably in the end, which is a massive credit. It's very hard to come up and stay up, as you know, and then obviously you got the second season bounce, which again I think you guys will be. But I think your manager is very, very underrated. Good manager that no one's really talking about. And yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about it. But nah, I'd like to say, yeah, congrats. And how's it feel like being in the Premier League now? You're chilling with the big boys. And,
mad, man. It's mad, man. But, like I said, we're going to talk about, we played you twice in the League and Cup as well. But listen, Premier League, it's still baffling, as you know. Like, I could be talking about League One football. Forest fans in the comments, we could be talking about League One football, but Saturday, we're going to one of the best stadiums in the world. Is the best stadium in the world, people. But people as well, before we just talk, Patrick has got a YouTube channel as well. So Patrick, before we do start, talk about YouTube channel so people can go and follow us.
Yeah, go and follow me. The thing is, I'm not gonna lie, my YouTube channel, I started it because I've been on so many podcasts and it was like, start your show, you're really good at what you do, and yada. So I started it, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite lazy. So I'm not lazy, I'm so busy with other stuff, haven't really got into it. So my actual show is called Chatty Patty. And if you follow me on YouTube, just type in PatrickTyrant, I'll come up. But the thing is, I'm on so many good podcasts anyway. I'm always part of the Football Terrace, representing Spurs. I'm on Saeed, the Manchester United big podcaster. We've got a show called Best of the Rest, and it's literally all of the big boys, representatives talking about football. I'm on Femzy. He's a really good Arsenal fan. He's on the RAF
busy person, Patrick, aren't you? You're a busy person.
Yeah, busy. So I'm with Femzy. That's called Premier League Unpacked, and that's with a lot of the good YouTubers and podcasters. And then I just do bits and bobs with everyone, such as, good people now. I can pick and choose who I want to jump on with. So obviously when you gave me the call, I was like, yeah, we have to chop it up, of course. So yeah, always a pleasure. And I'm happy to be here, man. I really am. You're one of the good guys, and I'm happy to see you getting your just rewards. Now that it sounds horrible to say it, but now you're in the Premier League, obviously the opportunity is going to be bigger and better. So I'm happy for you, man.
100%. People, like I said, Patrick's YouTube channel is in the title, so please do, if you can do a massive favor, please do hit the subscribe button. Like I said, he's been slacking, but you don't know, Patrick might do some work on his YouTube channel.
I need to go on a rant. I don't want to do it, but it's almost that time. It's almost that time to go on a rant because, like you said, I mean, the football for us is such a weird one because we're fourth at the moment. But if we're being honest, it's been so up and down and turbulent. We went on a decent little run, won 4 out of 5, and then obviously we lost away to Wolves in the game we shouldn't have lost. And then obviously, went out to Sheffield United in the cup yesterday. Champions League match. Like, we work so hard to get to the Champions League. You work so hard to get to these knockout stages, big games, in front of the lights, in front of everyone watching, and we just played like We was a damn squid. Yeah, it was just like there was no desire, no courage, no commitment. No one really wanted to take the game by the scruff of the neck. It's like these guys didn't know it. It was a knockout game, and like literally it was do or die. And AC Milan didn't really bother to really play. They were happy to just do a containment job.
Yeah.
But they were already 1-0 up. They didn't care. They already 1-0 up. They didn't have to do anything. And we just, I don't know, man. I'm getting fed up with Conte, man. He just seems like a coward.
We'll talk about Conte. We'll talk about Conte. Like,
yeah.
Before, like I said, before we do stop, people, we'll go through the comments as well before we talk about everything about the game. So Adam says, good evening, gents. 1-0 to Forest on Saturday.
I hope not, man. I hope not.
Mohammed says, Mr. Dore, big game for the Reds. My score prediction is 2-1. People in the comments, get your score predictions as well. And I've done a poll as well. People, who do you think is going to win? Spurs, Forest, or draw? People, 41% says Spurs, 59% says Forest, and 0% says draw as well.
But this is a Forest channel though, so obviously you guys are going to be biased.
It's going to be bad. People, there is. I can see some Spurs fans as well in the chat as well. Evening, guys. I think we'll win 1-0.
Jeez.
How you doing, Lloyd? I hope you're well. James McKay, how you doing, James? My boss got 2 season tickets at Spurs. I hope we can't go or fall down the stairs. Then giving them tickets as well. How you doing? Good evening, Mr. Dore. I hope you're well. I haven't been well this week. I have an ear infection and throat infection. I felt that drawing and colouring. Eve, you know what I'm going to say. Keep drawing and do what you do. But you do well.
Yeah, get well soon, Eve. Get well soon.
As well. And we have got a Spurs fan. Serena says, please Spurs beat Forest.
They might not be a Spurs fan. They might be one of your rivals. Just hoping.
Nah, listen, man. Serena, who do you support? Spurs. If you're a Spurs fan, put your hands up for me. And this is Grant Forest. Just this by 1 goal. Bloody hell. People are confident, but people, you need to be careful. Our way form is not great. So that's what we're going to really get taught. Right. So let's talk about you. I said at the start of the season, right? Conte is past that he's had fantastic manager. He brings trophies. And I said Spurs will definitely get a top 2.
Yeah.
Tell people in the stream, man, as a Spurs fan, what the hell is happening? Because you talk about the FA Cup, the Champions League. We knocked you out in the League Cup as well, if you do remember.
I was hoping you didn't bring that up.
So, Patrick, like,
yeah,
what the hell is happening, man?
Okay, so if we rewind to basically the El Sacco last year. Nuno versus Oli, whoever won that game. Literally, Man United and Tottenham were both in dire straits. We lost to Man United 3-0. Boom, boom, boom. Nuno got the chop. We brought in Conte. Everyone was over the moon. Instantly, the football got better. We went on a really good run. Well, it was hit and miss to begin with, but once Conte tinkered and kind of got his system right, got the players that he wanted to play, we went on a really good run. And we, Arsenal were well ahead of us, and we picked them to 4th. We were playing some really good football, went on a good run, scoring a lot of goals. So we was thinking, okay, with a full pre-season, we got in some good players in the summer window. Everyone was like, yeah, Spurs are going to be strong. Some people called us outside, favourites, dark horses for the league. Like, we was going into the new season with good momentum. Everyone was in good spirits. And the season started well. We went on a good, I think it was our best ever start in the Premier League.
It was.
Yeah, so it started really well. But then, as you know, with Conte, there's a lot of murmurings, talks of him being unsettled, talks of, tinkering, bad substitutions, late substitutions, weird tactical lineups, not being flexible enough to change as the game's developing, not realising that like Emerson Royale, credit to him because he's turned a massive corner, but for a long time this guy was stinking up the gaff, and anyone could see that the guy needed to be dropped or rotated, and he wouldn't do it. Sonny's not been great this year. Everyone could see he should be dropped or rotated. We got Richarlison, we got Danjuma, we got and he just won't do it. He's so stubborn, and it's come to bite him in the arse. He's very negative in his tactics. We've got such good attacking players, and it just seems like we've always got a handbrake on. And the reason why you can see that is because when Conte was ill and he was back in Italy and Stellini took over, we played a bit more free-flowing. The players looked a bit more at ease, relaxed, and they was able to just be themselves, be skillful, be expressive, and do what they do. And it just seems that it's just a bad marriage, man. And it's like the perfect storm. Daniel Levy won't, it all goes back to, I don't want to go too far outside of what you asked me, but it all goes back to the chairman. I've been Levy out since like 15, 16. Yeah, long before.
Is he that bad though?
Yeah,
is he bad? Because from a Forest point of view, like, people say he's a good businessman.
He is
But,
correct.
but he's not doing like the
But
managers that you've had in the past.
there's a difference. If you want a businessman, if you want someone to run your football club like a business and be a spreadsheet Excel wizard, he's fantastic. He's your man. Tough negotiator, shrewd negotiator, yada yada yada. But when it comes to football, the same stuff that makes him a great businessman is also the same stuff that has been detrimental to us over the years. We had Jack Grealish in the bag, then leave it at the last minute because Aston Villa were in trouble. Went and lowballed them, offered 5 million less. They undernard and then they didn't take it. They got a takeover. We messed up on that deal. Sadio Barahino, 14, 15. The guy was a killer at that time.
Yeah, he was.
Was it West Brom? He was in the bag as well. Daniel Levy messed around. We didn't get that deal through. Throughout the years, there's been so many deals that were close to getting, and for whatever reason, Daniel Levy's messed about. And it's just in terms of the football. And at the end of the day, we're a football club. We're not a business. We're not an entity. We're not entertainment corporation. We're a football club. And the football seems to be secondary right now. It's all about Beyonce concerts, F1, go-kart.
I see that on Twitter.
Lady Gaga, flipping Tyson Fury, Guns N' Roses. All of this stuff, NFL, rugby, all of this stuff is great if the football's great and everything's going well, then fantastic. Be a self-sustaining club, bring in lots of money the other way. But when it seems like the football's secondary and all these things come first, that's when the fans get irate. So from the outside looking in, it might seem like, Tottenham are doing well, great stadium, consistently getting in or near around the top 4. But we've been there or thereabouts for a long time now. When we want to take the next step up, what's the point of continuing to finish in the top 4 if, like last night, when we are in those moments, we don't have the quality to really push on?
Yeah.
And this is the problem now. It's like, we're just in between. We're the nearly man. We're not a bad club, of course we're not, but we're not nowhere near the other guys that are winning trophies. And that's the difference. In these moments when it really counts, we don't have the quality to see it through. And then to be fair as well, we do have the quality, but we've got the bad managers. We've employed win-now managers in Jose Mourinho and Conte, but we've not given them the tools to win now. These guys are not going to nurture talent. Like your manager, fantastic manager. We've seen what he's done in the England setup.
I've seen on social media. You've been linked with him, haven't you?
I know.
The man, Steve Cooper.
And you know what? And to be fair, I'm not even going to lie to you. When I saw the links to begin with, I turned my nose up at it. And I was like, what? Steve Cooper? And then when I actually thought about it, like a day or two later, I was like, you know what? He's a good manager. Like, obviously, he's not the illustrious names. Like, when you're looking at the Enriques, even your Pochettinos, your Tuchels, he doesn't have the star, he's not star. But if you look at it, if you break it down, he's a fantastic manager, man. And I rate him highly. And I look at what he's done to your guys.
Would you like him? Would you like him? Because the problem is, right? Like,
I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of, It's a tough one.
Sorry, because like, Chelsea have got Potter. He did fantastic well for Brighton. And like Steve Cooper, Steve, I don't want you to leave. I know, I know he's probably watching, but like I said, these top teams, they don't look at the young English managers as good. And the way Chelsea see as Chelsea a big club, they spent 600 million. Potter, in hindsight, like if Steve Cooper ever left Forest, he's always going to get a good big job.
100%.
Could you see yourself at Spurs? Maybe. I'm not Forest fans. Before I say I don't want Cooper to leave.
Of course you don't. I could see him at Tottenham. I'm not gonna. It's such a weird one. I'm torn because I do rate him highly, and I think he's a great manager. And almost in a sense, maybe he's what Tottenham need right now. Someone that we can actually rebuild with, we can trust. He'd be happy to be here, and we can actually grow. Because right now it feels like with Conte and even Jose Mourinho, it's almost like they had this aura where like, you're lucky to have me. So what I say goes, and I'll do as I please and come as I go, and I'll decide when and what. And sometimes you need a manager that actually wants to love the club, loves the fans, and is ready to be there for the long haul. And the reason why we're in this rigmarole with Conte right now is because he's not deciding if he's going to stick or go, stick or twist. There's no commitment from him. Doesn't seem like there's commitment from the club. It's just two people playing silly buggers, Levy versus Conte, Conte versus Levy. And ultimately, the fans are the ones that end up suffering. But going back to your question, I would like him, but then also, if I'm just being 100% real, with the other options, I prefer them over him. Like I've always admired Marcelo Gallardo at River Plate. He's not working at the moment over in Argentina. I think he'd be fantastic. The only problem with him is that the English barrier, the language might be a problem. And obviously, I don't know about Tuchel. I think he's a great manager, but I don't want no ex Chelsea managers, man. We've had Jose, we've had Conte, and now Tuchel.
And this is the thing. I don't like. I don't banter Patrick because we know everyone knows the Spurs story. They've not won a trophy for years. Like Jose Mourinho, he got you to the final, and I thought to myself, you know what? We're almost getting a trophy. Sack him
exactly.
as well.
And you know what? I forgot about it. This is why fans hate Conte. Stuff like that. Like there were so many. So Conte, Levy. This is why fans hate Levy. There were so many people that were Levy in and pro Levy, and when he did that, that was unforgivable. 2 or 3 days before a massive cup final for us anyway. You know, some people might turn the nose up at a Carabao Cup, but for someone like us, where we're starving for silverware, we were right in the mix. And he sacked him a few days before because if he would have won that, it would have been more difficult to get rid of him. You had to pay him out. So there you can see where his where his laurels lie. It's definitely money over trophies. And as football fans, you know, of course you want the club to be self-sustaining and ran properly. But at the end of the day, the game is about glory. The game is about silverware. When I look at your bat, when I look at your emblem, it's got 2 stars above it. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And that goes to show, like, you guys have got history. Yes, we've got history, but our recent history has been shambolic. We've improved and we've improved and we've improved. I'm not going to pretend that we haven't, got better, but we haven't taken that next step. And then when you see teams like Leicester, when they're good, they go and win things. Even Arsenal, dare I say it, they're looking good. And if they go in and win something in their first year being better than us in like 6-7 years, it just goes to show like what happens when you actually back the club, when you actually have a direction, a vision. And right now we don't seem to have any of that. And that's the problem.
People in the comments, there's 54 people in. Please do hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new to our channel as well. Make sure everyone subscribes to Patrick's channel. It's in the title. Patrick, there's one question I want to ask you, and I think quite a lot of Spurs fans would want to ask you as well. Jed Spence. I don't get it. Get it. Like, we thought he had potential. We thought he's not going to go in the Spurs team straight away. But what? Like, I think he made his debut at Forest, and I think he played well. But talk to me, Patrick. What the hell happened to Jed Spence? Talk to me, man.
You know what? It's not about you're saying you thought he had potential. The guy does have potential, but unfortunately, like I said, when you got a win now manager who wants to win at any cost, kids like that get thrown under the wayside. Jed Spence, Assar, who's a great young midfielder, even Skip. These guys would never get a look in. The only reason why Skip and Assar have kind of played now is because Højbjerg is injured and out for the season, and Bassuma's out for the season. Someone like Conte doesn't develop young players. He doesn't develop talent. He doesn't rotate the squad. He doesn't ease players in. Like when you look at like a Steve Cooper or a Pep Guardiola, or even, again, dare I say, Arteta, these guys will slowly bring in the younger players, and they're bringing, they give a guy 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, slowly but surely play them in the cup competitions around good players so that they're eased into the system and they're eased into the, the philosophies and how the guy wants to play. Conte won't do that. He'll stick to the same team week in and week out. And then people like Jed Spence, who they were saying wasn't a Conte signing, that was a Daniel Levy signing. And then these guys just get thrown, into the pile, into the dumpster. And it's a real problem because Jed Spence was definitely better than Doherty, definitely better than Emerson Royale, and we were all. Every fan was screaming for Jed Spence to get minutes.
It was. I saw social media. Everyone was mad by it.
Yeah, and every time he saw him warming up, he would get a massive round of applause. Every time he came on, he would get a thunderous round of applause. We all wanted it to work out, but to be fair, he's gonna outsee the current manager. There's no doubt about that. And so hopefully, he does well in his loan in France, and then he comes back, because it just goes to show, man, certain managers are not made for young talent, and unfortunately, Jed Spence, the timing wasn't right. If looking back at it, in hindsight, Jed Spence probably would have picked another team where he would have got minutes, but he wasn't to know that Conte would just literally throw him in the dumpster. So it's a big shame, man, because the guy's a talented young player. We want to see how good he is. None of us have really seen how good he is. And the problem is with Conte, he doesn't, Richarlison come out yesterday. I don't know if you've seen the comments.
I see all his comments as well.
Wow. Yeah, and he's had enough. And I don't blame him, because this is how is a player meant to thrive, and how is a player meant to develop and do well in a new surroundings?
You know what, Patrick, to be fair, I've lost respect. I don't like him. I'm not going to lie. I know. He thought he was a bit too cocky when when you lot beat us at 6-2-0 in the league.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, he was doing the headers and those. Yeah. I actually forgot. Yeah, that seems like a lifetime ago now, doesn't it? That's crazy. Yeah.
Well, it's bad. Right, we'll go through the comments, and I've got one from James. Come on, people. Tottenham have improved in the league since the World Cup, and we've not in the bad league in the league at all. All fingers points towards a Spurs win. Is that true though, Patrick?
We've been okay. Like I said, we had slightly started to pick up points. Before Saturday's game against Wolves, we had won 4 of our last 5. Beat Man City 1-0. We had beat West Ham 2-0, Chelsea 2-0. Who else did we beat? We beat someone else. So we'd actually started to pick up some points. But then, with us, whenever things are going well and we have a real chance to grasp fourth or do something, we end up, throwing it away or bottling it, as they say. So we're in indifferent form. I looked at your form and it's, in our last 5, we've now won 3, lost 2. And I looked at your form and you've drawn a couple, lost a couple, won a couple. So it's quite similar. So yeah, we have to bounce back, man. We have to. It's been so poor. Yeah, the last.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I was going to say the last 3 games we failed to score. And even yesterday in the knockout game, it's only in the last couple of minutes we started to get shots on target. The problem with, again, this is why Conte as well is starting to rub fans up the wrong way, because he's so rigid and stubborn in his tactics and his lineups. And we've been screaming out for a creative player for so long. All of us wanted Maddison in the summer or someone of that ilk. You could see yesterday we were screaming out for some creativity. Kulu down the right, he's a good player, but you wouldn't call him a number 10. You wouldn't call him someone like he's a conductor who pulls strings and move players around and stuff like that. He's a direct winger, but he's our only source of creativity. Harry Kane is as well, but I don't want Harry Kane on the halfway line or 30, 40 yards away from goal. I want Harry Kane in the 6-yard or penalty box. So yeah, we need something's got to give. But like I said, three games now without a goal, 2 losses and a draw. I just hope that we take it out on you guys. Obviously,
I don't. No. I speak on the day because, like I said, when I watched the game yesterday, you lot were shocking, awful.
Yeah.
And like I said, Forest fans will know, West Ham wasn't great, and they absolutely battered us after they scored the first goal and 4-0. But it feels like I don't want that to happen again. I think there's got to be more. Go at you more because your confidence will be battered, and
100%.
And all Spurs fans will be. We've got to make your fans
nervous.
That's what we've got to do. But time will tell. We hope it'll happen. Before I'm gonna give you comments as well. How you doing, Paul? Good evening, boys. Forest staying up. Do you think Kane will leave at the end of the season, Patrick? Yes or no?
I'm gonna speak with my heart. No.
He says no. People. What do people in the comments? What do you think? Do you think Kane will leave? Do you think he should go to? I'm not saying a team that can win trophies. No offense, Patrick. I've got to get the trophies. As well. So I had to say that. As well. Where Spurs need Poch back. No one else. What do you think about that? Forest fans, we know. As you know, we've had it before. People will know that Billy Davies come back to Forest and it didn't go well. What's your thoughts about Poch?
You know what? I love Poch. Almost looked at him like a father figure. Like he was the guy who kind of took Spurs from like a bit of a joke of a club to, people started to take us seriously. Consistently finishing in the top 4, going really well far in cups. Should have won a couple under Poch, to be honest, but we didn't. But everyone could see the trajectory of the club. He believed in youth. He developed players. He had great, tactics in terms of formation, how he was able to change things up as they went. Yeah, he was a fantastic manager, really good manager. You could see in the end, though, again, it's always in the end, it turns out to be the managers versus Daniel Levy. And the managers never win. You never win against the chairman. You're always going to end up a cropper. And you could see in the end, he was lost on the touchline. He just looked like he didn't want to be there anymore. Made a few funny comments that didn't really sit well with Spurs fans, like saying that if he wins the Champions League, he's going to quit and go out on a high. We didn't like that because it's like, why were you talking about quitting when the job's not done yet? Flirted with the Real Madrid job, flirted with Manchester United, was caught going out to eat with Sir Alex Ferguson. So there's these little things that didn't really sit well with us. But in terms of him as a manager, fantastic. Obviously, he's the guy who gave Dele Alli his debut. Harry Kane, he really brought him through, really brought out the best in Son. Basically put Moussa Dembele from a 10 to a defensive midfielder, got the best out of him. Had flying fullbacks in Danny Rose and Kyle Walker. Fantastic centre-back pairing in Jan Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld. But the thing is, fans are very nostalgic, but we always look at the good points, but don't forget the bad points. In the end of the coach's tenure...
There's a comment from James, Patrick. Like you didn't bottle it last season with Conte. You got fourth. Some Spurs fans are snobs with a chip on the shoulder. Hope I'll be back to the winner. What's your opinion on that comment?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Listen, I'm a Spurs fan through and through, and the thing is, the narrative is Spurs are Spursy and we're bottlers and this and that. But at the end of the day, we made sure that Arsenal bottled it last year. We were fantastic, and we deserved to finish fourth. And obviously, we didn't really have we were outsiders and we finished fourth. But the problem is why so many Spurs fans are now disenfranchised with the club and feel like, they just basically feel lost and upset is because we went from that to this. We thought we'd press on. We thought we'd get better. And I know right now we're fourth. And again, people from the outside looking in and be like, why are you moaning? You're still fourth right now. You've got every right to finish in the top four. But we should be much better. You're meant to get better year on year. And there's no progression. We have regressed, if we're being honest. We've regressed. And yes, now that I didn't want it to come to this point where it's like now that we're only in one cup competition, one competition is in the league, and then we can fully focus on that. As you get better each year by year, I wanted a better cup run, and obviously I wanted us to push higher in the league. Now we're fourth like we were last year with only one game a week. Maybe, yes, the results will get better, but it just shows that the squad's not good enough, and every time we have to play 2 games a week or we have to focus on other things, we just can't handle it. So, yeah.
I've got to say, I don't know if you know this person, Prems TV, boy.
Yeah.
Patrick can't see in. Is he an Arsenal fan?
This is Premsy, one of the best podcasters and YouTubers out there, the Arsenal boy that I was talking about. So I'm on one of his shows called Best of the Rest. No, I'm with him on Best of the Rest. Apologies, but his show is called Premier League Unpacked, and that's on his channel.
Okay,
so
make sure everyone subscribe.
Go into in the
everyone subscribe to Prems TV.
Go subscribe to Premsy TV. He's you'll see him on AFTV as well. He's always doing Arsenal previews and match reviews and all of that. But yeah, really good guy, funny guy. But he's like my brother, but I love to hate him. Obviously, at the moment he's it's horrible talking to him right now because Arsenal top of the league and all he keeps saying, we're top of the tree. How
do you feel about that? Because like I said, we have a little banter with Derby. Know, Forest fans, we don't talk about them because they're in League One.
You can give it to them right now.
No, we don't talk about them. We don't talk about them. There's difference. We don't talk about them. But how do you feel about that, man? Because like I said, Arsenal top.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult, man. It's insufferable right now. I mean, I'm getting atted left, right, and centre on Twitter every day. These Arsenal boys are talking shit and just atting me and this and atting me and that. And obviously, right now they got the bragging rights. They're flying, and I'm just hoping. Like I said, I partnered with Man City this year. They're my second team now. So it's anyone but Arsenal. And right now, I'm supporting City. I'm just hoping. And actually, I've got a bone to pick with you lot because you lot made City drop points.
Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean? Look, listen to me, man.
Yeah, see, if I would have thought about that, I wouldn't have come on. I was fuming. Like, oh man. Obviously for you lot, it's great. But I was like, fuck's sake, City needed to win that game. And you lot made them drop points. And then obviously now that means...
It wasn't happening, people, was it? It was happening, people. People, please do hit the like button. What's going on, people? There's 63 people in. If you can,
hit the like button, man. Stop
please
being
hit the like button.
It's free.
Please, man. Come on, it's completely free, people.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Patrick 2 more questions before we do leave. Like I said, Patrick, as I said, like, Conte is a great manager. The players that he was getting, I thought they were positive.
Yeah.
And I said Spurs will get top 4. What's your opinion? Do you think you'll get top 4, but will the poor form get you? Because I personally think he's still got good playing Harry Kane.
Yeah,
it's class. And got Son as well. Yeah. But we know Luiz, he's injured. Holberg, he's injured. Simba, he's injured. But can you get the top 4?
It's doable. I'm a positive fan. I'm always going to believe and want the best for my club. I think we can, But we've got to be careful because we can't afford to drop any more points. And that's why this game on Saturday is such a big game, because obviously after dropping points against Wolves, there's like no room for error now. There's no margin for error. We've got a favourable run in. We've only got to play Liverpool and Man United from the top 6, and all the rest are games that we should be winning, winnable games on paper. But as we know, this league, there's no givens, there's no gimmies. Any team can beat any team. We technically, if you look at it, we should beat Wolves and we lost. We should have beat you guys in the cup and we lost. So anything can happen. And even when we went away to you guys, it wasn't an easy game. It was a tough game. I know the scoreline, I think it was 2-0 in the end, but it wasn't really, it wasn't a fair reflection on the game. You lot had your chances. So we've got to come and turn up. You guys will definitely be up for it. And like you said, if you guys start strong, it's going to make the fans very nervous. Our back line is definitely gettable. If you lot get at us and cause us some problems, So, but going back to your question, I do think we can make top 4, but we have to be careful. Liverpool are right up our arses now. And obviously, Man United.
Patrick, I won't worry about Liverpool. We beat Liverpool in the league away, so I won't worry about Liverpool. But, I tell you, like, the only team who's not beat Liverpool is Man U, because we Liverpool backed them 7-0, but we backed the
crazy.
We came. But,
yeah, man, this league's crazy, and it just goes to show, isn't it? Anyone can beat anyone, but can we get top 4? I think so. The fact that I hate to say it, and it's horrible to say it, because I wanted us to go far in the Champions League. I wanted us to still be in it. But the fact that we've only got 1 game a week, maybe that will help us out in the long run. But we'll see, We'll see.
Right, before these people get your comments in. What is your score prediction for Saturday's game? We know Forest hasn't got a great record. We know Spurs, like I said, they've not been playing great at all. Can Conte get the sack, people? People in the comments, please get them in now. Right, Patrick, what is your score prediction for Saturday's game?
3-1 Spurs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it's time that we actually get some goals. I think you lot might even score first, and that will wake us up.
Patrick, we're struggling with goals.
But
I'm not a negative. I'm not a negative guy. I'm not. Like I said, we're both positive with our club. We always like to say, if we're in the dumps,
we want the best for our clubs. Yeah, exactly. You're always going to see a way out, aren't you? You're always going to see.
But it's going to be tough. But what was it? 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1. That's me being a bit ambitious. 3-1, maybe 2-1. I think we'll win it, but I think it will be tight. Like even a 3-1, it's not going to be like we're just going to pass you off the park, and it's going to be a tight game. And then we'll probably try and pick one maybe as you guys push forward to try and get an equaliser. But man, I think we're quite vulnerable at the moment after 3 games without a win. You guys have nothing to lose, do you? So you're going to come here and try and play like. You haven't got anything to lose, and you've beaten good teams before, so it's not like you don't know what you're doing. But I do think we'll win. But listen, I'll take anything. I'll take a 1-0 own goal. I'll take a keeper fumble. I'll take anything, man. So
before we do go, you know what? Let me get through the question, the chat. Yeah. You've got James says 2-1 to Spurs. Fair enough. Pat says 2-1 to Forest. Game says 0-0. I'll take a 0-0.
Yeah, of course you would.
I'll take a 0-0 as well. Nottingham Forest says NFC 1865 says 2-1 to Forest. Got to expect Kane to score. He scored 2 goals up the sea ground. Grant says 2-1 to Forest. Lloyd says 1-0 to Forest. Eve says 1-0 to Forest. Johnson to score.
Yeah, he's a good player, man. Johnson is
what do you think of him?
Player.
What do you think of him?
Very good player, man. I don't want him to leave though. Like obviously I don't want him to get poached. I actually want him to stay at Forest and develop there, because I could see him going to a bigger club. With all due respect. And not getting the minutes. Sometimes you want to see these guys stay at a club like Forest or the home club for a couple of years, and then if the time is right, move on. But for now, man, I want to see him continue to stay in the Premier League with you guys and grow with your team. But good player, man.
Maybe to go to. Well, I'm not saying I don't want him to go, but maybe go to Arsenal. You go to Arsenal.
But the thing is, if he goes to Arsenal, he wouldn't play, would he? Like realistically, he wouldn't.
Nah, he wouldn't play. He'd be like a Nelson,
like a Reece Nelson, exactly that.
Yeah,
talented player, but not
Johnson. Like, not going.
Joe Willock,
nah,
good
exactly.
Just, so stay at Forest, man. Like you got all the tools and
Johnson, you're staying.
Yeah,
David, if you're watching this, please stay. Stay at Forest. Lloyd said 1-0 to Forest. Like I said, I've seen this 1-0 again as well. Adam says 1-0 to Forest. Johnson to score again as well. Right, but before we do go, like I said, I know, like I said, you've got that the Conte out.
Yeah, I've got Conte
like,
out.
do you want him out
Question
then? Like,
mark.
what's
Yes and no. To be fair, I've kind of like I backed Conte. I really wanted it to work. I was really excited when he came in. Even now, I've said back the manager, given the tools. But when I see us set up and play like we did yesterday in a die-hard knockout game, I'm just like, does this guy really want to be here? Today, there's all these things coming, like Conte wants to leave. He's waiting to get sacked. He's this, he's that. And sometimes when I see the way he plays, I'm just like, are you actually just? It's like self-sabotage. Are you trying to get us knocked out? Or are you trying to lose games on purpose? Like, we're chasing the game. You take off Kulusevski and you bring on Davies and Sanchez. Like, stuff like that. Even though we're down to 10 men, go for it, man. We've got nothing to lose. I'd rather we go out fighting and lose the game 1-0 than do what we did yesterday and end up losing 0-0 and just show nothing. So I don't know, man. I just question him. He's talking about how he's still living in a hotel with his family in Italy. He's getting homesick, and he's this, he's that. And I'm just like, if you don't really want to be here, then just go. Like, with all due respect, yeah, thank you for your service. Thank you for getting us top 4 last year. But at the end of the day, the game's more than just about top 4. Like, you were brought in to win stuff, and every time we've been in a position to win something, you drop the bag, you fumble the bag. Going out to Sheffield United is inexcusable.
Yeah.
Going out the way we did last night is inexcusable. No one wants to lose a game, but fans will accept losing if you try your hardest and you try your best, and it just wasn't your day. But you can't say yesterday wasn't our day because we didn't try. Last week against Sheffield United, that I don't understand what the team selection was there. I don't understand what we were doing. So I'm indifferent, to be fair, because I think with a better manager, say a better manager, he's meant to be he is a world-class manager, but with a different manager, I think we would have had a better go at these things. So, I don't want to be one of these guys that is always like screaming for a manager's head every time something doesn't go right. I don't want to essentially be like, like a spoiled Chelsea fan. But then at the end of the day, when you look at it, Chelsea have won how many trophies and how many cups over the years. But the problem is they back their managers and we don't. So,
Patrick, it's been an absolute pleasure.
yeah.
Thank you for coming on the channel, man. It's been a pleasure. People in the comments, man, show some love to Patrick if you can, please. It'd be massive help. Please, as well, subscribe to Patrick's channel. Like I said, he's a busy person. I'm always on seeing him on different YouTube channels as well. But like I said, people, as you know what I do, I like to promote other YouTube channel. But Patrick, are you going on Saturday?
I can't make Saturday, which is annoying because I've got season tickets. I'm pretty much at every game. As you know, I was there at the game yesterday. I'm there but I can't make Saturday. But other than that, I'm there every game, man. So yeah.
Are you using that excuse because we'll beat you?
No. It's actually it's my birthday on March the 15th. So I was born 2 days before St. Patrick's Day, hence the name Patrick. So my birthday is March the 15th. St. Patrick's Day is March the 17th. So I've got plans on Saturday, so I can't make it, and it clashed with the football. So it's literally the first game I'm going to miss in about 2 or 3 years.
Are you drinking the Hennessy on your birthday?
Nah, I like the spice rum, man.
I love it. Yes, love it.
Celebrating, looking at obviously I'll be checking my phone every minute to see what's going on, and yeah, hopefully we're celebrating with a win as well. But I wouldn't say I'm worried about this game because I always go into the games feeling optimistic, but I know we can get caught cold by you guys. If we're not on our P's and Q's, you guys can spring a surprise. Do you know what I mean? You've got some quality in that team. And John Joe Shelby as well, I like him. He's a good conductor, a good pass with the ball. Obviously, Dennis Johnson, Brennan Johnson. So Dennis, why did I say Dennis Johnson? Dennis. Emmanuel Dennis. I know, Emmanuel Dennis.
No, he's not been. Emmanuel Dennis has not been playing. He's not been great for us.
Listen, you say that. All these guys that are never good, as soon as they play Tottenham, they just step up the level.
We hope that we pray for that. Right, before we do the comments, there's some nice comments for Patrick, Gustine, Dor, and Patrick. Mohammed, good night, Dor and Patrick. Up the Forest, good luck to Spurs. Justine says, if you want to be a member as well, please do hit the $sign. It helps me a lot. Thanks, Patrick. All the best, except this week.
I feel the same for you, lot, Justin. All the best, apart from on Saturday.
Yeah. I think this is for you. Grant says, "Gives your ticket."
I sold it already, man. I put it on Ticket Exchange. It went straight like that, and that's actually quite funny, Grant, because there was a lot of rumblings that loads of people put their tickets out. There's going to be so many spare seats, but I put my ticket up and it went straight like that. So There's still interest. Yeah.
Oh, so respect. DW no penalty this time. Patrick, we're going to get Navas now.
Yeah. Navas, good goalkeeper, man. See,
Great
the thing is,
goalkeeper.
you guys have got some quality, man. You've got some good players in your team, in your squad.
We just need to win games, win away games. Don't we, Forest fans? We just need to win away game. We know. Problem is, we've not scored a goal in London. That's how
really.
We've not scored a goal in London.
I hate these kind of stats because every time I see these things and read them, every time we come against Tottenham, all of these change. So let's hope it stays that way. And
no. We need a goal, Forest, please. Another one. This for Paul.
Thank you for the comment before. He said I was very articulate and stuff like that, so I appreciate that. Thank you, Raza. Appreciate you, bro.
Raza, respect for that, Raza. As well. Right, people, I'll be there as well on Saturday. That's my second time that I go to Tottenham because the first time I went on a tour, fantastic, one of the best stadiums I've been. So people, I think there's a vlog about it, people. So we'll put it in the link in the description after as well. But people, if you are going to the vlog, go to the game on Saturday, watch out for the vlog as well. And there's gonna be loads of Spurs fans really tense, upset about Conte. So people, get on the vlog for Saturday. Patrick, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Honestly, the pleasure's all mine, man. And I always say this. I hope it's a good game. I want it to be, decided on the pitch. No dodgy VAR calls, no bad refereeing decisions. May the best team on the night win or on the day win, man. That's what it's all about.
100%. Right, people, I'll let it go. Don't forget, watch out for after the game as well with Des, myself, and Dave, and other people as well. The previous show, that will be Sunday as well. That will be 8 or 9 o'clock. So watch out for that. And more content on my channel will be soon as well. So if you can do a massive favor for me before you do leave, please do hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. And if you are watching this repeat, in the comment section, what's your score prediction? And I'll get back to you. Right. Peace and love, people. And I'll see you on Saturday for the game. Peace and love. Up the Forest.